In the days of the first generation, it was rare to see a young person in his early youth stage running his or her own business or even score themselves a good position in the working industry. This was regarded as the use of black magic. It was said that till the male or female child in the family is either married, that's when he or she starts to do his or her own thing. Hypertension and depression dominated during the days. This was due to dependency of the child to the parent and, on the other hand, to make ends meet in the family. To some extent, it's only one parent who is the breadwinner of the family. The 20th century was not an easy century for young people at all, especially if they were still staying with their parents, as whatever they would get would be exploited by the parents. In this 21st century, changes have taken place as the parents now are allowing their children to do their own business with the help of technology. Which actually begs the other question: is this a good thing? Since the youth are slowly drifting to adopt to the Western culture due to the technological influence that they've had. In this second generation, there is a large abundance of young people who are doing business in different industrial sectors. We're going to meet up with Mthulisi Ndlovu, also known as King KG, who is a multi-talented record-holding poet and academic writer. He is the author of the longest isiNdebele poem in the history of Zimbabwean publications, which he nailed through a 1.1 book titled Ubuntu Ngqabanqo, Ubuntu, which stands for above all. Published under the African Sketches, Ndlovu has worked with the legendary playwright Kont Mhlanga, renowned historian Patisa Nyati, Shakespearean world record-holding poet Philani A. Nyoni, motivational speaker Njabulo Moyo, amongst other prominent and upcoming artists around Africa. Ndlovu is also a passionate publisher and editor who finds great joy in indigenous languages.
Mthulisi Ndlovu is a humble young man from the rural Blantyre, Somnene. He grew up in Amaplazini, Ombowodo. So I attended my primary school at Fairview Primary School there in Blantyre. And then I did my Form 1 to Form 4 here in Wabulawa. I went to Zatuna with Luveve College, formerly known as Luveve Study Center. So I also did my high school with Amhlope High School, Pumula East. So basically, that's Mthulisi. I am a publisher, I am a philanthropist, I am an entrepreneur, and I'm a brother as well. So yes, basically that's, in short, that's who I am. Yes. Apart from writing, as I alluded before, I am a philanthropist. I am a founder and the current president of the Roots Voluntary Charity Organization, popularly known as Trovoco. We deal with alleviating the plight of the needy. We pay school fees, buy stationery for the orphans, the disabled and the destitute. I'm also an entrepreneur and the current CEO of Ubuntu Afro Publishers. Yes, we are publishing indigenous content in indigenous languages that includes Shishona, Chikalanga, isiNdebele, Chitonga, Chivenda, and many other indigenous languages of African origin. In relation to the literary sector, I think there is a lot of work that needs to be done. Firstly, I think we need to really prioritize the publications and the distributions and the funding of indigenous projects. I think the government must maybe take upon themselves to fund these indigenous related projects, and also I think as a people, as a nation, as individuals, as NGOs, we need to challenge ourselves, and not always have this dependency syndrome of depending on the government. We need to challenge ourselves to work extra harder, to put more works into whatever that we are doing. Because if we believe that whatever that we are doing, this industry that we are in, the production of content in indigenous languages really means a lot to us, we should show it by putting so much effort in it. So basically, I think we need to challenge ourselves. The challenge is on us, and the challenge is on everyone that is outside there to really, really value and respect our local languages and really, really appreciate them and know that there is still good in our indigenous languages. In the next coming 5 years or so, I think it will be one of the major media houses in Africa. As Ubuntu Afro Publishers, we are really, really working so hard to make sure that in the next coming 5 years, we would have taken the literary sector by storm and the arts fraternity in general by storm. So yeah, we are really promising you some fireworks.
I am the Marketing and Public Relations Officer here at Ubuntu Afro Publishers, and I'm also Mtulisi's personal manager. A title that I don't really like, but because I see more of it as a brother and as a friend, and me as my brother's keeper, I like to believe that it's my duty to help him and take care of all his activities and everything else that he gets up to. If I'm to look at the challenges that I've faced as his personal manager, the thing is, at times our ideas get to clash, or you might come up with some ideas that I'm not really sure will go well with his brand. But at the end of the day, we sit down and make sure that we put everything down on the board and make sure that we sort everything out. So those are some of the challenges that I've faced as his manager, and also he's very stubborn. That's one thing for sure. But well, at the end of the day, we do get the work done. And as the Marketing and Public Relations Officer at Ubuntu Afro Publishers, well, we're in this pandemic season, so it's quite difficult right now. So many authors and some of our clients aren't really trusting when it comes to publishing right now, because they're not really sure if their work is gonna excel, do very well. So it's quite difficult to gain the trust of the clients right now. But we're working well with them so far. We've got so many projects that we're working on. And yeah, we're gaining that trust with the clients. And hopefully soon, as soon as this pandemic is over, whenever that will be, we'll be able to work at full force.
This is Ronald Mqolisi Chabalala speaking. I'm here as the brother of Mtulisi Lovu, aka King KG Ukulukacheni, the CEO of Ubuntu Afro Publishers. I'm here as well as the shareholder of this company, Ubuntu Afro Publishers. Ukusebenza lo Mtulisi is very interesting because I've learned a lot of things from him as the brother and as well as my mentor. He's been my mentor since childhood till today, and I'm enjoying being the partner of him. And we make sure that everything or every work that we have on the desk, we finish it as soon as possible to make our clients happy. This is our major thing, to make sure that our clients are happy and we finish our job in the desk. I've learned a lot from Mtulisi. I've learned a lot It's like I've learned Ubuntu. You know, Ubuntu Afro Publishers is derived from Ubuntu, humanity, the spirit of humanity. So Tulisi is very ambitious about Ubuntu. So I've learned a lot about humanity.
Trust is a trust that provides artist administration and management. As the trust, their aim is to ensure that both the image and the person on the screen looks proper for the screen and are properly dressed for the show. Now today, we're going to have a word with them and find out more about their trust.
Lambo. My name is spelled with TSHIDO as a way of affiliating myself to Bulawayo. This is where I'm coming from. And I'm a writer, a script writer. I'm a law student. I'm a project management student. And I'm also employed by Amakosi Studios as a security and compliance officer. Working at registering a trust that's there for artists, that helps to build artists, that helps to make something of artists that is better than the way we would have found them or met them in their original state. We're only there to enhance or magnify their abilities so that we manage to build a better image of who they are, at the same time representing Bulawayo and Zimbabwe. Our trust is called Ugubu. It's a traditional instrument because being Zimbabwean comes from the roots. We're Africans and we're proud of who we are. That's why we have an African name and with a traditional effect. Ugubu is an instrument that's used for music. The main reason is we're not just using a name. We wanted a name that has got the roots being musical, being African, being Ndebele, because majority or most of the population in Bulawayo is Ndebele. There are plenty of challenges, but for us, we don't take challenges to be just that. We take them as an opportunity to prove our abilities. Like in the industry, there are so many challenges that we can mention and we're ready to overcome them. We've got things like funding. Artists have problems with funding and they have challenges in getting funding, but then we've given them options of how to fund their own projects so that at the end of the day they achieve their dreams. So to us, they're not really challenges, they're a chance to shine. For now, I want to thank the government for the support that they're giving to the arts industry, because we've got the National Strategic Plan, and the National Strategic Plan has already been put in place to help cater for those problems. And they're doing plenty of indabas, and they're doing plenty of conferences so that with artists, so that they help in professionalizing the industry. But I guess for individual artists, the most important thing is professionalizing their artwork, professionalizing their way of doing things, and taking the industry to be an industry, a formal industry, a business entity, rather than taking it to be a hobby or a joke. For us personally, that's why our trust industry is there. Our trust is there because it's there to help build artists to be that. We're going to be doing lectures and seminars, even lessons in bookkeeping, project management, secretarial, all those things that are needed for an artist to be equipped for a business setup rather than a hobby setup where people have been taking it as a hobby reset all this time. Now we're just upping our game for the artists, and we're there to help them get there.
My name is Nontobe Gondovu. I'm a student at LSU. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a makeup artist and a hairdresser, and an employee at Amakosi Studios as the makeup artist and floor manager. I'm an image controller, makeup artist, and my responsibility is to make sure that the artist always looks presentable, views, ready for shows, and ready for set. I always set. I'm working with Chido. It's very nice. It's great. She's an amazing woman. She's always ready to teach anyone who's willing to be taught. And she's gonna go with you wherever she is if you're working good with her. And she's spiritually uplifted me. Work-wise, the projects that we do, they're always very super. She's a good motivator. She can give you all the strength that you think you might have lost, and yeah, I'm really enjoying. I don't want this sister to ever leave me. The friendship is just on another level. I look up to her. I ask anything that I want. She's always there as my advisor, and yeah, I'm the baby sis.
Young Miners Association is a brainchild of Tatinda Ephraim Gwarazimba that brought together young technicians, metallurgical assayers, geologists, miners, surveyors, engineers, just to mention a few, and is growing extensively. The main aim is to reduce poverty via exploitation of our natural resources in a lucrative manner and environmentally friendly way. Also, to pass on knowledge on mining to all the youth in the mining industry and boost it by training human resources to be knowledgeable. Reducing unemployment by teaching the public about the availability of the vast geological wealth our precious country holds. The ZISCOSU has provided students who have profited from the venture and graduates who were unemployed but now are self-employed with the necessary skills to run their business, and of course with the necessary metallurgical skills of extracting these resources.
My name is Tatinda Gwarazimba. I was born and bred here in Bulawayo, but originally I'm from Masvingo. Primary school into Ubidl, then I did from like grade 5 to like form 4, Kokomeri. That's where I started enjoying my geology. I used to run away from school, go into the caves. That's when I started appreciating nature in general. But then I ended up loving the rocky part of nature. Then I completed my A-level studies at North High School. Then I went to the Zimbabwe School of Mines where I became a certified assayer. Now I'm just advancing my academics there, and generally I think I've actually grown more fond of nature, because the more I got to see the things that enriches things that Zimbabwe produces, the more I actually want to explore and the more I want to find out. And I can't say I've learned much because I still have more to learn about it. Other activities. Generally, I think I'm a natural sportsman. I'm just an athlete, play basketball. Basically, almost all the sports that are available in Zimbabwe, except football. I don't know why I never managed to play football. And the type of business that I'm doing, it's diverse because mining is a complex process. Yeah, it sounds simple when someone says we take the gold from the ground, but actually, the gold is extracted from rock crystals. So from the shaft, from the belt detection to the shaft to everything, we do the whole process. Basically, we start with consultants and we are looking to expand to having our own mine. Is the Young Miners Association. Basically, that's it. Sampling for them, structural mapping, metallurgical consultancy, geological consultancy. What else can I say? We do take also pH for farmers. We can also help them because we take pH for them. We check the acidity and we do recommendations and all sorts. So all I can say is basically we help people with everything that's geologically from the rock. So rocks and soils, we deal with those, but mostly we deal with minerals, especially gold. I kind of had to create my own association because in Bulawayo we are kind of sidetracked because Bulawayo specifically does not have pretty much gold deposits and most of them are already claimed. And the youth in Bulawayo are not benefiting unlike the other youth in other areas like Kadoma, Musingo, Mutare, Shurubi and so forth. So I want to try and educate and teach the youth in Bulawayo. Also not focusing on Bulawayo but expanding to Matebeleland as a whole and maybe Zimbabwe and maybe end up regional. But mostly I started it because I noticed that people in Bulawayo, they are not focusing on mining, but there is gold in Bulawayo. A lot of it, and there are so many minerals that you can actually exploit. For example, in Nyamendlovu, there are several emeralds. There's this belt we discovered, and there's quartzite, and there's clear quartz. Very precious minerals that people actually walk by and surpass every day. For example, if you can look at this, this is an example of a mineral deposit that's actually there, but it's ignored on a daily basis due to lack of knowledge. So we are trying to inspire these youth so that they can also benefit from everything that they are stepping on, because every day they are passing their own way. Well, the greatest challenge is capital, because there's a lot of machinery that's required to extract, to navigate, to explore and everything, and capital to raise the money to do all this is kind of hard to come across. The second thing is also that we also have other senior people in this industry, and they usually look down upon young people. They don't want to emancipate the youngsters. So we just hope that if we do this ourselves, we can also get their support, because we need the knowledge that they've acquired over the years. Because so far so good, we only know what we know, but we don't know what others know. So we need to know what they know, so that together we can have the most knowledge that we can utilize to become the best. Firstly, they can hold seminars educating miners from basics of education, because some of them they started mining at tender ages and the understanding of academics is very limited. So just that little knowledge, holding seminars, going to them, teaching even the old ones, the young ones, educating everyone about the real reasons why people should mine, and best way to do the mining and not just focus on the old ways, because we are actually growing and we are advancing. And if you look at the human resources in Zimbabwe, most of us are actually now quite educated. So we can utilize those people and help them help those others. So by helping each other, everyone will benefit, because by the time they go to those people educating them, those will teach them their ways of mining. And with the combined knowledge of those people via the seminars, then we can boost our mining industry and become a great country again. I'd say you can do it, but that's kind of overrated. They can, but it's kind of tough. Only if you sweat, that's when you can extract what you really want. Because if you want the best, you have to work like the best. There's this soccer team I like to watch, Lakers. They say if you want to play like a national team, like a national team, like a professional team, you have to train like that. So if they want to extract and get the best, they have to work that hard. Money earned hard is always good, so it is always great. You always enjoy it the best. And also, I'd like to say they should come out and leave everything else they're doing. The other stuff, the bad stuff. I see youngsters in the streets. I see them seated all day, sitting, talking, and discussing. There's a lot to discuss in the bush, because there's a lot we have to talk about. They should come and join us in the bush and we discuss how we can inherit our home. Time flies, but I hope I'll utilize my time in the most lucrative way possible. And if that happens with the vision that I foresee us as young miners having, I look forward to us being a well-established, not just an association, but most probably a company with other mines of our own that will actually be using to fund in the education and illumination of the youth.
Oh, okay, so you started with the School of Mines, then you decided to go. Okay, alright.
Wow, so I guess if you follow your passion, I mean, like you'd be best at it. Okay. I guess it's true. So you're right. In some workplaces, there is independence, and some dependence. In this case, the team managed to have an interview with an employee who used to be an entrepreneur on his own right, but due to the pandemic, he has to start working for someone. Now, today we're going to find out how the pandemic has really affected his working space and his working endeavors at the same time.
Eliot Wende, a man who's in his late 20s, actually, yes, a God-fearing man, humble and outgoing, smart, and actually someone who's adventurous, to be precise. Yes. Activities that I do besides from work. Okay, actually I'm a simple guy. If I'm not at work, I'm at church. I'm in ministry altogether. So the activities that I'm doing are most likely based on church activities, church programs, and so on and so forth. That's what I do most of my time. Like I said, to be precise, I'm a God-fearing man. Yes. That I've gained, I'll tell you much. The list is endless. But for starters, I learned something that, having to start a business from the ground, it's really challenging. That one I wouldn't want to lie. Because sometimes you feel the pinch, you feel the challenge that the director or the CEO is going through, So actually, but bosses are different. My kind of boss is the kind of person that, someone who likes to talk to someone who's on the ground, someone who likes to talk to me, as I'm always here most of the time to talk or to liaise with the customers. So we get to know, we get to understand what the other customers want. And actually it's more challenging out there if you're in business, because you have to keep on going on with the certain things that are in demand. So having to keep up with the things that are wanted in demand, that's a challenge. I promise you that. So to tell you the truth, that's learning. I've learned quite a lot. I've learned quite a lot in experience-wise. Challenges. Yeah, my challenges are not that much, but actually to say, you know, the current situation that you're living in right now in Zimbabwe, because I would say our basis commodities and our resources, they're limited. So those are the challenges that I can state, that I can mention to say, because most likely other things, as I mentioned earlier on, to say out there's competition. So you need to keep up with the things that are in demand, because out there are customers they need a certain or prior thing that they want that is in demand. So you have to keep up. If you're not keeping up to the game, that means that your business is a bit slow or lower than the other guys. So you sleep, you snooze. That's the thing in business. That's how they run. First of all, I would say my drive, what made me come here in the first place. Working here, altogether I was an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I was doing a side business of buying and selling body sprays, perfumes. So my advice I would like to say to the guys out there, I would like to say, you know what guys, you know, everything has got a foundation. The first thing that you need to do when you're starting something that's small, when you're building something, you need support. You need lots and lots and lots of support. It might be financially, it might be physically, but you need support. Surround yourself with people that support you. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up, people that are going to support your motive, people that are going to support your vision. And I doubt you're going to go wrong. And at the last point, keep up to the demands of the customers. Because you know, with fashion nowadays, things are upgrading. Don't just be that old typical guy that goes to say, I know back those days in business they do this and do that. You know, other people, they go to school for business studies and stuff. But look out there in our Zimbabwe, our economy and stuff. The people that are actually making it out there are the entrepreneurs. Why? Because they know how to supply the things that are in demand and to keep up with the things that are needed on the table. So that's what makes them better at the end of the day. So my advice actually is to say, whatever they want, whatever you want, whatever kind of business that you're going to be engaging into, just be focused, number one. Number two, surround yourself with people that are going to support you, that are going to build you. Number three, be focused again.
Lupatla, a young entrepreneur born in 1997 in the jungles of Nsusa along Lupane Road, spent almost all his entire life in Bulawayo. He did his primary school from grade 1 to 3 at Philabusi. He then went on to do his grade 3 to 5 at Gwanda, then grade 5 to 7 at Greenfield and Fairview. He then went to Founders to do his high school from Form 1 to Form 6. He then ventured into art in 2016, where he started doing drama at school with the love for theatre, performance and filmmaking. He then started a film production house entitled Isikejo Productions with a number of people believing in his vision, and they ended up leaving along the way because of different challenges. He is surviving with only a mother who works as a maid. His father passed away in 2008. He stated he went to South Africa and in 2018 December to pursue his dream. He pushed from that side, and when he came back, the people he had left and had destroyed his dream and vision of creating a massive film production company, he had to start from zero to bring together the broken pieces. And today, He's also a comedian and has done a few comedy series. The team was blessed to have a conversation.
My name is Mentolo Pasha, first of all. I'm based in Bulawayo, that's where I stay. I finished my A-level in 2018. And from there, I've been into art. I've been doing art. That is to say films, music, and some small shows that artists do. So yeah, basically. What I can basically say is that I'm a person who is into art full time. So for other activities that I do, I don't know if I can say they are activities as such, but I'm also into electronic, like I do lessons for smartphone repairs, laptop repairs, and other computer related technicalities. So that's basically what I do aside from art. There's a lot to say about that one, but what I can honestly say is that when something is in you, when you've got a calling for a certain thing, when you feel something running through your veins, your blood, you can't ignore. It's something that stays within you, something that one way or the other you just have to bring it out there, let people see it, because if you are to ignore it, you'll be betraying yourself. So personally, I would say that what motivates me to actually be courageous enough to pull through these activities is that it's something that is within me, something that I love, something that I cherish so much, something that I believe in. Talking about challenges, to be honest, art industry, it's just one industry that is a challenge on its own, because you discover that the first issue that you need to face, that you can't run away, is the financial side of things, the economic dilapidation, and the finances generally. You discover that there are no finances. There's no one who's actually ready to come into art industry and freely give, or rather sponsor. So the first challenge that is there is the financial side. So we have to fund our own things. We have to depend on our own pockets. That means if our pockets are empty and there's nobody who is willing to come in, then that becomes a challenge. Secondly, it's the support. One thing that we can't run away from, especially here in Bulawayo, is the fact that everybody wants to be big. That is not a problem. Now the problem is that people wanting to be big, they are not willing to help the other person, because they take that person as a competitor instead of them working together. So that's one other challenge that we're facing, that people, we are just not supporting each other. Okay, let me just put myself out of the picture, because I'm one person who is pushing for that support for each other. People, they are not willing to support each other. You find that a person is just focusing on their own thing that they are doing. They don't think about the next person. Citing the third challenge that I'm facing is the people that we are working with within our own organizations. They are after a lot of things. You discover that you work with a person who is running a certain organization somewhere, and that person, their focus is now divided. Like they've got divided focus, they're doing that thing, and they have to come decide again and focus on this. At the end of the day, they lose both things, or both things just go down. So that's another challenge that I am personally facing in this industry. But, talking about solutions, according to me, what I would say is that the first solution has to come from us, the artists. But now that you are asking me to link the government, the NGOs to our work, the solutions that I would possibly cite out is that we need their support financially, even creation of opportunities. You know, as artists, speaking about our production house, is Kettle Productions. We do events, and there are some NGOs who do events also. They need to work with us in those events. They need, if we approach them asking to do collabos with them, their support, they may not help financially, but the little that they have, we just accept that. My vision is quite broad, and it's a very huge one. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to give a skeleton of it. Number one, in 5 years' time, I really wish to see Zimbabwe, or specifically Bulawayo, having the best working relationship among production houses. If it means that we ask, like the production houses coming together to form one thing, destroying different names, lots of names, focusing on building one thing, then I would go for that. That's my wish. Number two, I feel so pity for our artists, especially the musicians. They're not making any incentives from their music or whatever. I really wish that after 5 years, they'll be getting something from that. They're able to sustain their families and their programs through their own music. So basically, that's what I wish. What I can say is that, first of all, for those people who wish to venture into this business, the first thing that they should do is that they should focus on helping other people more than on pushing their own agendas. Because when you help someone, that person that you help is the one who grows you. So what I would say is that people who want to venture into this industry, or who are already doing it, who are already in the industry, may they kindly focus more on helping other people. Help others so that they also help you. Focus on growing others so that they also grow you. So basically, that's what I can safely say.
I'm 18 years old and I'm a really passionate girl. I went to St. Bernard's High School for my whole of O-level, and I've been working with Isketo Production, not for so long, but I can say for a short period of time now. Part-time, I do music. I'm an artist, and I also do modeling as well and acting. I've experienced a lot. Firstly, I've experienced to mostly work hard when doing business and also be passionate about everything and always do something wholeheartedly. So far, I can't say I've faced any challenges regarding in the future what's going to happen, but so far I've not faced any challenges. Okay, final words to everyone. I'll just say that everything needs to be put on hard work so that it becomes successful, because there is nothing that can just boom and you get up there, but hard work really.
Regarded as a part-time business, or to say a business done for fun, and a lot to be said about the business. This is a motivating and innovative interview that we have with the multi-talented businessman. Disc jockeying and photography can be a business we will never understand. Now let's find out more as to how this business is conducted on a daily basis.
My name is Walter Nube, aka DJ Sweeto. I grew up in Kensington. Went to Sacred Heart Primary School, and then Milton High. Basically, I come from a family of 3 kids, and I'm the second born. So basically, I started DJing when I was in Form 4. I just loved DJing because even at home they would see me setting up some speakers for parties and the like. And then it went on to a later stage whereby I was also watching some top class DJs, the likes of Oskido, DJ Tira live on TV, and also wanted to be Princess Escosini and Charlie Fresh, who helped me fit into the industry of DJing. At that age there, that's when I was now also playing at gigs at my school, gigs, also parties, 21st, weddings, you name them. Basically with the DJing is passionate because I'm so much into music. And then photography, hey, it comes as a side hustle. I haven't really put so much consideration into it because it only came through because of I lost my sound and now I needed something to keep the income coming. So that's when I ventured into photography. For myself, what I realized was for you to be relevant is always being there when it's happening. Like supporting your fellow mates. When your fellow mate has got an event or a gig from either photography or DJ side, if you support your fellow friend, whenever they plan for the next event, they will also involve you because you are supporting. So basically, I think you just need to support and always be with the other people who are in the same field with you. That way, I'm sure you always stay relevant. You're right. We need to collab and work with other people, because alone you can't win. It's all about teamwork. For you to go up, I mean, a ladder has got so many steps, and you can't just go up the ladder with one step. You need so many steps for you to get on top there. So those many steps are more like the other people that you need for you to keep growing as an individual. What I do in person is I do my own marketing. Like I do my own flyers, I do my own business cards. I also market into WhatsApp groups. I also use Facebook platforms, Instagram to market my business. So this has actually helped me out to reach out to a lot of people, since a lot of people are so much into social media. So basically the challenges I faced with marketing using social media are at times, like WhatsApp chat groups. At times you'll be in a certain group that has got a different business perspective, but knowing you can attract 1 or 2 people who will be maybe wanting your works or your services. What happens then is they may actually remove you from the group. Actually, some people will actually insult you, saying, hey, look, this is funayo, kind of things. Yeah. Challenges maybe are trying to get enough equipment for the whole project, but the aim is as a DJ, is to again start off from scratch and have my own PA system, and also on the photography side to have enough equipment to be able to cover several events at the same time. Basically, what I can say to the upcoming guys is it's one step at a time. Of course, I know it's all about money, but it's one step at a time. Money doesn't just come like today you have started photography, then tomorrow you're making money. You invest into the business, actually. That's what I can say. You invest into whatever you want to do for it to give you returns. There's no way you can just go to a land and just, before you even plow on the land, then you expect to harvest from the land that you haven't plowed on. So basically you need to invest into it for you to get something out of it at the end of the day. I suggest people invest in their time, because time is also a source of money, should I say. If you are not able to catch up with time, then I'm sure you lose out on a lot of opportunities, and then you won't be able to deliver a lot of services.
Tatenda Chingwena is a Zimbabwean fashion practitioner who has decided to do his business both in South Africa and in Zimbabwe. As we managed to link up with Sia Fashion brand ambassador to understand an in-depth of Sia Fashion, here is what she had to say about the brand.
My name is Liru Mazerenganu. I'm an engineer, I'm a talk show host, I'm a script writer, I'm a poet, and I'm a brand influencer, I'm a fashion model. Yeah. In South Africa, the owner, the director is called Tatenda Chingwena. Yes, the brand, it was launched last year during COVID in February, but it's doing very well right now. We believe that no matter how much an industry is flooded, quality will always win. So we made sure that our clothes are of good quality and they are affordable. Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned risk-taking. That's what we actually did. Imagine starting a business during COVID-19, that's very hard. But we made sure that we have got clothes for everyone. You don't walk into our factory and come out and say, I didn't find something for myself. We've got clothes for the old people, we've clothes for the ghetto guys, the uptown guys, everyone you get. If we are selling a hood, we've got a hood for your father who is mature, we've got a hood for a guy who's in the ghetto. You know, we've got this Bulala brand that we have. So those guys, they love that. We've got T-Max Croc, which is our other brand, which is for other uptown guys. So everyone will get something. We've got clothes for kids as well. So you will never come out of our factory empty-handed. So that has made us prosper, because at the end of the day, we make sure that if this one doesn't buy, this one will definitely buy. We're on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we're on WhatsApp, we've got a WhatsApp group. We are everywhere, basically. Yes. If they open another social media platform, we'll get there again. Of now, we haven't monetized everything. You know, our brand is just good. I'm sure I've shown you the pictures. From just looking at it, it markets itself. We just need to get to the people. Our 5-year vision is to have more shops and to expand to Zimbabwe, the motherland, of course. My advice and encouragement is just that. Do not let the external environment detect or determine where you should go and how you should do it. For example, we started during Corona and we are not even stopping. So if you can survive such harsh conditions, you can survive anything, and anyone can survive anything. So just that.